Welcome, everybody, to the 49ers podcast. I'm your host, Matt Daniel. As always, joined by my co-host, John Gallagher. John, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Can't complain. I'm ready to talk some wide receiver tiers, talk some Trey Lance, as well as some Richard Sherman. But before we do that, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Our podcast is at 49erverse. Our Twitters are out on the screen if you're watching. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, I'm at Matt_NFL_, and John is at Genghis_John_. You can also sub to our YouTube at youtube.com/49erverse podcast. Are you ready to get into it?
Ready.
All right. So news and notes. All we have is the recent Richard Sherman news. He was arrested on, I believe it was a burglary, domestic assault, I think was the official thing, but they ended up changing it, saying there was no assault.
Okay.
Recent news has also said that there was a DUI possibility. What are your thoughts on what's going on with Richard Sherman?
I got a lot of questions. It sucks. I rooted for Richard Sherman. I mean, I rooted against him when he was a Seahawk, but when he came to the Niners and I saw, the culture shift, I was absolutely rooting for him. Yep. This news sucks. I hope there was no assault, or domestic abuse, domestic assault. I hope there was nothing like that. Mm-hmm. You mentioned earlier that there was some mental health questions and in concern around this event. I hope he's okay. I have more questions than I do opinions on this scenario.
Yep. I think the only correct opinion here is that we hope that Richard Sherman gets the help that he needs, mm-hmm. whether, he is having some, mental health issues, whether it's CTE, problems at home, even whatever it is, we are obviously, this is bigger than football. Obviously we're, on Team Sherman here, and we hope that the best possible outcome is what happens.
Yep.
So I think everybody can agree on that. Mm-hmm. All right. So next up, we got our blunt talk.
Yeah.
We're doing it early today because we've got wide receiver tiers, and I know it's going to take a while. This might be a long episode. Mm-hmm. So we decided to push it to the front. We'll just get John the right mindset right off the bat. So
yeah,
might even be a good thing.
Sparking it.
So what do you got for us today?
Well, let me get this sparking. Let me look at you. Right. Let me look at you, Niner fans. Let me look at you in the eyes.
Yeah.
You fucks getting into the comment section saying, "Why is Trey wearing a bra?" Mm-hmm. That is athletic apparel to measure metrics to enhance performance. That's a good thing. To get upset about that is silly. For all I care, Trey Lance could put a dildo on his forehead to measure wind resistance while he's running, and I'm going to support that because I want those metrics measured, and then I want them to be improved upon, because go Niners. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? Why are we in the comments acting upset that this looks like a bra? A bunch of non-athletes getting mad at athletic apparel. We need to stop that. We got to cut that out. We're better than that. And that is my take for this blunt talk right now.
For those who haven't seen it, I have it up on the screen. It does resemble a sports bra, and he's wearing it over his shirt. Clearly, it is not a sports bra, and nothing that he's not wearing it for any parallel reason that a person would wear a sports bra. And even if it was, who fucking cares?
If he wanted to wear a sports bra, he could. I don't give a shit. But but the fact that this is actually measuring athletic performance and people are still upset or going, what's this about? Motherfuckers, just enjoy that this athlete is trying to get better.
Yep, exactly. And any it's Twitter, so you're gonna have your non-profile picture.
Yep.
Guys on there who are going to say they're homophobic type stuff, as we were calling them, the chubby guys who sit on their recliner,
mad about athletic apparel.
Yeah, right. It literally says Stat Sports on it. He's wearing it to measure his metrics. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it measures. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it used before.
I've seen trackers that kind of look like a belt that you tie around your midsection. That's supposed to measure your heart rate and stuff while you're, getting the work in. Like maybe this is something that's not as bulky, because the belt has a big buckle in the front. It looks like I don't know about a buckle, but it's a big plastic piece that might not be comfortable. So maybe this is just a more comfortable way to get that information.
And that could be, and his primary focus is to become the best football player that he can possibly be. You know, and if that is the shape that is going to bring out the best possible, workout, then
this is what I want.
It is what it is.
This is what we should want.
Yeah, exactly. We should be happy because if he's wearing it just for looks, that's not what we want.
I don't think he went shopping and picked that out on the rack.
He probably was paid by those people to wear. It looks like an ad.
He showed up to a training session, and an athletic trainer who was being paid to measure and help increase his performance asked him to put that on to help him make the measurements. And Trey Lance said, "Okie dokie." And they fucking
said,
they took pictures
you're my
of
trainer.
It. Yeah, you're my trainer. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna get.
I'm not wearing a sports bra. Throws it in the ground.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And the people he's working out with, you can see in the pictures, are also wearing it.
Wearing it. Yeah. So I don't see their masculinity brought into question.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. If masculinity is brought into question, it's your masculinity.
100%. You're projecting. That's what I need all you guys to know. As a 49er fan base, it looks bad. It looks like you're projecting, and it's fucking embarrassing a little bit.
Bad. It is a lot of it embarrassing. All right, so let's get into why you're all here today. Wide receiver tiers.
Yeah.
So for those listening on, let me add to stream real quick. For those listening on Apple Podcast, our tiers are elite, top 10, borderline top 10, wide receiver 1, good starter, average, below average, time will tell, and straight trash.
Straight trash. I have a tough time calling NFL players trash.
Yeah.
I felt bad last week when we were doing that. Because trash, the person that we put in straight trash could absolutely run a hole through us.
Yes, they could.
So I just want to.
We can call it not very good.
We'll just be like bottom of the barrel. So it's a euphemism, kind of. Still bad.
Right.
But I don't want to call them trash.
We're being nice here over the 49ers.
I want to be. I want to respect the game.
All right. Respect the game and the players. If there's someone in here who's deserving of straight trash, I don't know. Golden Tate might be at this point.
You said Golden Tate?
He is on the
because of the allegations with Wilson. Is that what we're talking about? I actually like bringing that into question.
I was going to say for that he's elite. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know exactly what it was, but something about him sleeping with Wilson's wife or something.
Right. Yeah. And then there was an altercation in the locker room. Percy Harvin punched him out. I don't know why they did that.
That's right. That was a while ago.
But
anything to create turmoil in the Seahawks locker room.
Yeah.
I'm
pro Percy though in that one.
Yeah. All right, let's start. Let's get going. Devontae Adams. I don't think any question.
Elite. Put him in there.
Yeah. Fast. I think he's the best wide receiver in football right now.
Yep.
Next up, is this Nelson Aguilar, number 15?
No, that might be Edwards.
Oh, Brian Edwards, right. Brian Edwards is tough to tell.
Like him.
I want to put him in time will tell. Because he barely played last year.
That's true, but I just his size and what I did see, I think he had a touchdown or two brought back because of a penalty.
Okay, this isn't Brian Edwards. Brian Edwards is 89. This is Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, I would actually call him a good starter.
We'd actually just talked. Good start. It's tough to tell at the beginning of a thing because you don't know who else is going to be going next to him. But I'm fine with putting him there. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up putting him down.
On the Raiders, because he was just in talk. I was just trying to trade him for another player. Mm-hmm. On the Raiders, as a third option behind Waller and Jacobs, he amassed 896 yards and 8 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. That's quality. That's a good starter. If you can bring that kind of production to an offense, I want it. And going to New England, where he looks like he's going to be the primary. He looks like he's going to be the wide receiver 1 without a battle. Mm-hmm. And I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. I'm fine with good starter. Brandon Ayuk, the man, the myth, the legend.
I think he's a wide receiver 10. He's a wide receiver 1. Let's put him there.
Yeah,
because he's better than a good starter. Yeah, and we can't talk about top 10 lists right now.
Obviously, agreed. Elite is where he could be.
I hope so.
But he's better than just a good starter. So, but I think wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
Right now he's top 10, but I wouldn't be if you want to say elite, if you want to talk about it, I'm in,
Yeah, he's definitely like these are the only two that you could even really have a conversation. I think I'm going to put top 10 though.
Yeah,
Just because there's some good receivers.
Yeah,
Obviously his ability, it could become he could be elite. He could be the best wide receiver in football in a couple of years.
yeah.
It's possible, but for now we'll put him there.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown. Also, this is a good time to bring this up. This is what you contribute to your team in 2021. So any of you, past accolades don't mean nothing. This isn't fantasy football. This is NFL football.
Yeah.
I think average at this point.
Ooh, I would go. So he's going to have a full camp with the Bucs this time. He didn't have that coming into the season last year. Tom Brady did put his name on the line saying we should go get Antonio Brown. I do think Tom Brady is going to want to make good on that, kind of on that recommendation, on dropping that reference. So I think that they're going to have a strong connection. I mean, he could be a wide receiver one number wise. But putting him below good starter, I don't think we could do that.
We can do good starter. I don't know. I just at this point in his
career, he's still AB.
There. He's going to be 33, 32.
Yeah, but he's still Antonio Brown. Still AB.
We'll put him a good starter. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Cole Beasley.
Unvaccinated, huh?
We just need that's number one. Unvaccinated. No, I think good starter.
He's a good starter. He's been solid in that slot role, and he's been pretty dependable.
Mm-hmm. He had a good year last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good starter. I mean,
he had some blow up games with the Cowboys as well. Like he's rose to the occasion on a lot of games, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, he's a possession slot guy. He's Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman type. Just it's important to a football team, not really like going to be jumping off your stat sheets, but he's good.
But converts on third, like keeps your offense on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
KB Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
New England Patriot now, former Niner. One of my favorites. I think he's average.
It's hard for I think he's a good starter because I think he's just a little better than average. He just has that one game against the Seahawks where he had some clangers off his hands. I think we all kind of equate, him to having bad hands after that. Just not the case though. His conversion rate on third down was pretty great. And that touchdown catch, ratio was awesome. So
he will either be the clutchest wide receiver on the field, or he will be unable to catch a ball. There's no in between.
No middle ground there.
He'll catch like the Hail Mary that he caught was as good as the one that DeAndre Hopkins caught. It was just in garbage time.
Man.
But there were some third downs, like 3rd and 3, like the 50. We needed a conversion, and he would just drop it. I think he's average.
In that Seahawks game. I think I know what you're talking about. But in other games, he did not.
Mm-hmm. I think he's average.
Okay. There's not enough to argue good starter. I lean a little higher than average. But
okay, we'll take turns on tiebreakers. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. And then next tiebreaker will go to you. Tyler Boyd.
Ooh.
I think good starter. Just because I don't really think he's in the same tier as Ayuk, and he's not. He's probably now the wide receiver 3 on his own team.
Yeah,
it's not his fault that his team's so good, but
like the younger guys beat him out pretty quick. Higgins and now Chase, I think, are gonna be the guys that get targeted more.
Yeah,
that makes him average to me. If like the new guys just came in and took it right away.
Okay, so you're leaning average. I just think he's better than Kendrick Bourne by quite a bit.
By quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep him there for a bit, and then we'll reassess. But I think he might be a little lower.
Let me look up his stats really quick, just because I don't know them off the top of my head. Okay, so he had 841 yards last year, which is about what Nelson Aguilar had. And then the year before that, he had 1,000.
Okay, good starter.
Okay. Brandon Cooks.
That's another good starter. And if you want to talk wide receiver one, he has had 1,000 yards everywhere he goes.
I'll put him wide receiver 1 for now, I think.
Yeah. You can go to a new team and put 1,000 yards up, and it's not unfazed. That's pretty good.
I mean, he wherever he goes, he does nothing but be the wide receiver 1 for that team. So
yeah.
DJ Chark.
Ooh.
Here's where it gets interesting because I don't know. I don't want to put him as wide receiver 1, but I think he's better than all of these guys.
I think so too. He isn't. until now with Trevor Lawrence, he has not had consistent QB play or offense that, really wanted to feature him as, there as like a guy that, to be threatened. And even so, we've seen some really good flashes from him. So, his size speed combo is pretty nuts.
Yeah. And I think one thing we have to remember, because when I went back and I watched our running back one, an average is not an insult.
No.
Like a middle of the pack NFL running back is still a really good running back.
Right.
Because is Kendrick Bourne really an average? Because I mean, average to be dead middle if you rank every single wide receiver.
Yeah.
Is he really? He might be below average.
Maybe.
Chark,
I lean time will tell, because I think that there is a facet of his game that hasn't been unlocked because there hasn't been an offense to really go through the air and feature him as heavily. And even with Laviska Shenault on that team as well, I still think DJ has a skill set different than Shenault, and he's gonna get work.
Okay, I'm fine with time will tell, because he is one of those guys that we aren't really, he has anywhere from borderline top 10 down to, below average. So I think time will tell is fine for Chark. Chase Claypool. I say wide receiver one.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, he's a
freak.
He's in the same tier as Ayuk is. So
yeah. I mean, maybe DJ Chark is right there then too. I mean, because the reason we put wide receiver one on Ayuk is because he's just showed up, hasn't had great QB situation, and still looks real good.
I kind of want to slide everyone down. I kind of want to slide KB down and then move these guys down. And then I want to put Cook and Chark in good starter. Let me just does this seem like maybe even that? Because I just think there's a difference between these guys. But average is fine. Nelson Aguilar is an average wide receiver. I don't know. Does that seem fine to you? Do you have any objections to that?
I think I would still say Aguilar is a good starter. He had some down years with the Eagles, but I mean, 8 touchdowns on the Raiders, man, and you're the third option. It just makes me think you got some football to you.
Okay, how about we do that, but then we move Aguilar up?
I think I like it, and we might maybe even Chark to wide receiver one, just because he's shown flashes while not having good QB play.
Okay, yeah, we'll put him there. If it ends up getting too full, he'll be
we can move him.
Okay, Randall Cobb.
Wait, what team is he on this year? Is he a Cowboy?
I think he's still in Houston.
Oh, he's a Houston. Oh, he's a Texan.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, bottom of the barrel at this point in his career.
In terms of this point in the career, not awesome, but when he was with the Packers, he was very productive.
Oh yeah, he's a great receiver and a great receiving career. But at this point, I mean,
can't really ask a ton from him.
Yeah. Amari Cooper.
He's a 1. Oh, you put him in the top 10?
I say he's at a minimum borderline top.
Let's go borderline. I think he's a good borderline.
Okay. Corey Davis. I think good starter.
At this point, I would go average. I've wanted him to be good for a little bit, and it just hasn't got there yet.
That's fair. So Jamison Crowder.
I think he's a good starter.
Really? I was gonna put him in average.
He's been incredibly. He's productive in a Gase system. That's like fucking, swimming laps in quicksand.
But was he productive, or was he just the most productive on the Jets?
It was both. He still had. I think he was like an 800-yard receiver.
I'm gonna have to look up stats.
Let's look him up.
He had 699
last year.
He's never had a 1,000-yard season. Yeah,
he's always been.
That's like KB stats. And he was the wide receiver 1. I think he's average.
He's got a skill set. All right, we put average. I want to come back to this.
Okay.
Back to this later in the season when Crowder's got fucking 80 targets by week 11.
All right. I mean, if anything, he has even more competition now, though. Way more competition, actually.
Dude, he wins. He wins his routes. That guy knows what he's doing.
All right. Well, we'll see. Brashad Perryman.
Probably below average.
I say below average. Yeah.
So I mean, decent speed that's shown up in games at sometimes, but nothing real consistent.
I've had my moments where I've been hopeful, where it's the matchups right, and he seems just not that good. Denzel Mims. I mean, he's got to be time will tell.
Yeah, I'll go time with
Just
it. He's a
because
rookie.
I have no idea.
Yeah, rookie last year in a gay system. I'm not ready to make any conclusions on him.
Curtis Samuel. I think he's good.
He's a good starter.
I think he's a good starter as well.
A lot of the fantasy community is very high on him, but I think he is solid.
Robbie Anderson.
That's a good starter.
I agree. DJ Moore.
That's a wide receiver one. You want to go borderline? I'm interested. I can go borderline.
I think he's borderline at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just a little better than Ayuk at this current, time in his career. So
Right.
I think borderline is fair.
And, revolving door of QBs, always had 1,000 yards. He's been very, very consistent. And, if Darnold turns out to be any kind of consistent as well, then, he should continue to put up really good numbers.
Yep. Deebo Samuel. This one's interesting because, wide receiver one or good starter is where I have him at.
Yeah, at this point, because he's missed a few games, it's good starter for me.
Okay. The inconsistency.
It's also interesting to note, like, Deebo Samuel on another team, I don't know if they use him, the same way the Niners do. Like, the Niners bolster his value because they're so interested in using him in those, reverses and then those, receiver handoffs.
Yeah.
So
he's just not going to be used as a typical wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
Which isn't really a knock on him. It's just how he plays football. But
but I love him. I think he's a good starter. With a healthy season under his belt, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking wide receiver one.
It hurts putting him in the same tier as Aguilar. I mean, I know it seems like you are a lot higher on him than me. It just seems like if someone offered just in real football, who would you rather have on your team, Deebo or Aguilar? It's not even close to me.
It isn't close. That's if you want to put it that way, and you want to put Aguilar down to average, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I think Antonio Brown is better, man. That skill set that Antonio Brown actually has is
because I think Tyler Boyd is better than Antonio Brown at this point.
Oh, I don't know, man.
All right. If you're in the comments right now,
let's talk about it.
Antonio Brown or Tyler Boyd, and then or Nelson Aguilar. How do you rank those three? All right, maybe we'll get an answer for somebody, and then that'll be our tiebreaker. That's why I wanted a third person because I knew we were going to have
need the tiebreakers for sure.
Next week we're having Lobos FFN on the show to do quarterbacks. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we will have those tiebreakers. So DeAndre Hopkins. Don't think we need a tiebreaker.
That is elite.
He's elite. He's so good.
He's so fucking good. Another example. He's got elite numbers with another revolving door of QBs, and then. Once he got Deshaun Watson, it was way more consistent.
His hands are so big, big, so soft. He has the best hands in football, maybe all time.
They're pretty amazing. Yeah, so Cody Watson asks if we're ranking them for fantasy or if he was building a team.
Real football.
Yeah, let's go real football.
So real football: Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown, Nelson Aguilar. Rank those three.
And you're trying to win this year. Yeah,
and this is past accolades don't matter. Just 2021, just what they, give to your NFL football team. All right. So Stephon Diggs, he's
top
elite.
10. You go elite?
Okay.
I'm okay with elite.
I think he showed last year that he is
just throw him the ball, he'll catch it. He had
okay. So Watson says Tyler Brown
Aguilar.
Which is exactly what I agree. I agree.
Okay.
So I think as our tiebreaker, that should move Boyd up.
Okay.
Thank you, Watson.
But so we're talking about Antonio Brown in the slot with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Or Tyler Boyd at what wide receiver position with?
Well, it's just their own skill. So it's let's say for the 49ers, right? Who would you rather have on they're saying we're making a trade, right? We can either go to Cincinnati and get Tyler Boyd, or we can get Antonio Brown. For me, it's not even close,
But is it not close because Antonio Brown's been silly in the media the last 2 years?
That is why it's not close. But if it wasn't, I think it would still be Tyler Boyd at this point. He's younger. It's just another year for Antonio Brown. Obviously he's had some health issues.
Well, mental health, not
Yeah, but mental health is important.
Okay. Okay. This will be a good one because I think AB is going to have a real bounce back year.
Okay,
but
this will be a Twitter poll one.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Boyd either. I think he's a good wide receiver.
All right. Deontay Johnson.
Oh, I really like him.
Yeah, for me, it's wide receiver 1, good starter range.
Ooh, I would go borderline top 10 just because of the
Ooh.
target share he demands in that offense. And like
So
people talk drops with him, but that's just because That's just because his target share is so immense. Like he is thrown the ball so often. So like, yeah, there are some drops that come along with that. But his like he to me he looks like Antonio Brown 2.0 like for that offense and for that Steelers team. Like he looks like that kind of just shifty route runner with dependable hands.
So should we split hairs and do wide receiver 1 then?
Let's go wide receiver 1, but in my mind he's a borderline top 10 receiver.
Okay, it's just like DJ Moore and Amari Cooper are just like a tier above to me.
Well, okay.
And that isn't a knock on Deontay Johnson, who I think is great. It's just like those guys. So like DK. To me, DK is borderline top 10.
I would just put him top 10.
Okay.
Dude, he mossed the best corners in the game.
Well, I think we might end up, because right now there's 5 and there's still plenty of receivers to go.
Yeah.
So like I'll skip ahead just for conversation's sake. Calvin Ridley. Is Calvin Ridley a top 10?
Yeah.
I have him above DK. Yeah.
I mean, so with the scenario you presented earlier, if you have to pick a guy for your team to go win, I'm picking DK over Calvin.
I'm picking Calvin because I think Calvin can go to any team and be good. DK is as good as he is because of the situation that he's in. He went to literally the only 2 teams that he would be this good on are the Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and Pat Mahomes. Because if he has a quarterback who doesn't throw the ball, if Jimmy G's his quarterback, Calvin Ridley would be better to have on your team. He's just more versatile. I think he could fit into any team and be good.
DK just beats everyone. Like, so if he went to the Chargers with Herbert, if he went to the Buffalo Bills and Allen had the ball,
you have to have a deep ball quarterback. And that's what he does. He's good at the deep ball. Maybe. I don't know. But the difference for me is that Ridley, I guess we don't have to rank them, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah,
we might have to if it comes down to it.
But in terms of like just traits, like Calvin Ridley is a really good receiver. DK is on a whole nother freak metric monster level that I think puts him in that elite category where it's just like, what do you do to cover him?
I don't know. I mean, people found answers towards the end of the season. Because, I mean, in fantasy, he was like the wide receiver 36 the last 5 games because people just took the top off and said, beat me in a normal route, and he couldn't.
That was more the Seahawks taking their foot off the gas, though. Like their game plans near the second half of the season were much more conservative. So like I'm interested to see, especially with that new offensive coordinator over there. Like there's going to be a pretty aggressive passing attack. But I mean, I'm not mad at keeping both of them in the top 10. I just do definitely lean DK in the elite category a little over Ridley.
Oh, so you would want him up in elite?
Yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, at least now. Eventually, if we end up like, I wouldn't move him up without moving Ridley up.
Yeah,
or AJ Brown. To me, these AJ Brown, you think is better than DK, or it's worse than DK?
I don't think they're worse, but I said AJ Brown could be elite too, or at least I think I said that. But those 2, I think, absolutely have all the traits to be elite. DK
I think they do too.
DK looks like the second coming of Terrell Owens to me, and it's just like it's so hard for me to imagine that he just doesn't keep getting better.
I think T.O. is just way better route runner. I don't know. I guess I say we stay top 10 for now, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Jerry Jeudy.
Let's go 1.
I think 1's fair.
Yeah.
Based on who else is in this tier.
Yeah.
Especially.
He's got a great skill set. Pretty bad quarterback situation, so we really haven't seen it too much, but he has absolutely, put some cornerbacks on skates and routed them up. So I'm excited to see, the improvements that he's going to make.
For sure. Emmanuel Sanders.
For this year with the Buffalo Bills, good starter.
Good starter.
Average.
Okay. I don't know. I lean average, but
I lean average just because I think he's a good veteran presence, but I'd be so surprised if they decide to use him more than Gabriel I in that offense.
I mean, he's someone I would love to have on my team, but I mean, as far as just like NFL level skill as a wide receiver, it's just not on the same level. And I'd rather have Debo, obviously.
Yeah.
Michael Gallup.
Oh, so underrated. Oh,
So
man.
underrated. I think he's I would put him
absolutely
in the
a
same
good
boat as
starter.
Boyd.
Yeah, he's absolutely a good starter. He could be the one. He could go to any team, in my opinion, and be a starting one, at the very least, their wide receiver 2, depending on who they already had.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys are so rich at wide receiver with Amari, CD, and Gallup that we kind of forget about Gallup and how good he really is.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of production, though, if that's what we're talking about, it just seems like the Cowboys use CD and Amari a little more, and then absolutely leaning on Zeke. That Gallup's target share kind of gets left by the wayside. So at this point, we kind of just have to keep him a good starter.
Yeah, it's sort of just a product of where he is.
Yeah,
I mean, next year, he's a big target for me in Dynasty because if he goes somewhere, I think he does have the skill level to be a good wide receiver. So
100%.
Chris Godwin.
Top. You want to go top in top 10?
He's top 10. I mean,
you want to go borderline?
I'm fine with putting top 10 if we're iffy about it because we can always just move him down once we hit like that number 10, and then we can kind of argue it out. So I'm fine with 10. Golden Tate. I think at this point, bottom of the barrel. I don't even think he's signed right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. I think we can both agree he's elite.
That's elite. How do you cover this? He's so fast.
Yeah, how do you cover it? Allen Robinson. For me, I say he goes in top 10 for now.
Top 10, maybe borderline, but yeah, I think he's absolutely there.
Yeah. Kenny G. I think he's borderline top 10. I mean, he's top 15, 20, which I guess would be called borderline.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in between here. I'm not ever going to consider bringing him up top 10, but
yeah.
Marquise Goodwin at this point. I mean, love the guy. But
Bill? No, he's an Eagle.
He was. I think the Eagles waived him. I don't think he's on a team right now.
Okay.
I don't think he's on any team.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Mm-hmm.
McCole Hardman.
He had a lot of clangers in the Super Bowl, off his hands too. I would just say average, though. But he's so fast. Like he could be very good, but right now in that offense, he hasn't shown the production that makes me want to put him above that.
It's really hard to grade guys in the Chiefs offense because he's just like, how much of it is just Mahomes being the best quarterback in football, and how much of it is you're behind, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill in terms of the pecking order, so he might be better than we think he is. He just, doesn't really have the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Brown.
Damn,
it's another tough one because a lot can be blamed on Lamar.
No, Greg Roman. Less on Lamar.
Okay. I would lean. I mean, obviously, I blame Greg Roman too, but I also blame Lamar.
I think Greg Roman takes the lion's share of that blame.
I say good. I say he's a good starter. I think
he's a good starter.
Yeah. I don't think his stats really reflect because I think he is better than what his stats reflect. Like if he was on a different team, it would be a different story. Alshon Jeffrey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing.
Is he? Let me check. Did he retire? Like officially retired? Did they waive him and not re-sign him?
I don't know if he retired, but
okay. So it says he's a free agent. So I mean, we could put him with these guys because these are all kind of not really on a team.
Yeah.
Mike Evans.
I'll go borderline because he's another or top 10. I'm okay with top 10. He's never not had 1,000 yards in it. Even last year, I think it was 800 yards. But the touchdown fucking ratio was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, jump ball. He's in a jump ball situation outside of Hopkins. He might be a top choice at least. I'll put him in top 10 because he rounds out the 10, and then we can move from there. John Brown. I think John Brown's a good starter at this point.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry.
That is you want to go one? I'm okay with
one. I go one.
He's very consistent.
I think he's underrated.
Yeah, he's incredibly consistent wherever he goes.
Rashard Higgins.
Average to below average.
Average. Yeah, I would lean average.
Okay.
Juju.
He's a one.
So how many steals? I mean, everyone just groups these guys so closely. I mean, we can put him in the same. Julio Jones.
He's elite.
He's elite. So we got to knock one out of the top 10. Who's your least favorite of these guys?
Calvin.
Oof. I would say
maybe
Mike
Robinson.
Evans.
Maybe Robinson could be borderline.
For me, it would be DK, Mike Evans, or Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Maybe Godwin. He would probably be in it. Yeah.
I mean, Godwin's real good and Evans real good, but they're sort of good for different reasons.
I think it's either Godwin or Evans. Now that I'm like really thinking
As
about
borderline.
Yeah.
Well, Evans so far, I think, has had the stronger career.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. We got another tiebreaker in here.
Yeah, we don't have anyone currently live, so
okay.
I'm gonna move him down. I'm gonna move Mike Evans. I think. What do you think?
Okay.
I think neither of them are going to end up being there because
yeah.
I think there's a few guys who I'm going to have above, but Justin Jefferson, I'd say he's borderline. What do you think? Or do you think he's more wide receiver one?
No, he's borderline top 10.
Okay.
I want to put him in top 10 already, but
yeah,
we're going to be a little conservative.
Mm-hmm. I am honestly not even sure who this is. Do you know
That's
who
Devin
this is?
Funchess.
Is it Devin Funchess?
Yeah. I think he's a Packer this year.
Okay, that's interesting.
Below average. We'll go below average.
Okay, we'll go below average. Keenan Allen.
He's elite in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, he was going to be here. I think he's elite right now.
He's got some of the cleanest routes in the game.
Okay, so I got to move a guy down. I'll let you pick who you move down. I know who you're going to pick, but
yeah, I'm going to move Ridley. He's more borderline.
All right. I'm going to at least put him to the left. All the way to the left.
Maybe I'm changing my tune. This is going to be a year where he's going to be asked to be the primary wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be wide receiver one on that team, and I might change my tune if he shows out and continues to ball. Yeah. It's just the fact that DK's been asked to be the alpha. AJ Brown was asked to be the alpha. Allen asked to be the alpha, and same with Godwin sort of. Evans more so was asked to be the alpha, but they were all asked to be like the primary guys, and they all succeeded. Calvin Ridley's been very good, but Julio Jones has been the primary.
I'm going to reach back and grab Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Just to knock down DK Metcalf.
Oh!
Into the borderline top 10.
Okay. Michael Thomas has shown that he can be a little better.
I think it's fair to say Michael Thomas is better at this point than DK. Okay. It might only be for another year, and it might not even be this year. But I think right now,
point to make.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, that is a good point to make.
Terry McLaurin.
I'm cool with borderline or top. Wait, anytime we say a top, does he have to come down? Does somebody have to come out?
Yeah.
Okay, borderline or wide receiver one.
Well, okay, so Godwin or McLaurin?
I think I go McLaurin.
I think I do too. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think I do that.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk.
It's bottom of the barrel for me.
Bottom of the barrel?
Yeah,
he's that much worse. I don't know. There's some bad receivers in the bottom of the barrel.
Dude, he's got the same amount of numbers as all those guys in the bottom of the barrel, and he's asked to start. Or he was. Okay. He won't be anymore.
We'll put him bottom of the barrel. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. He's really, really good. At least one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's wide receiver one or borderline to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say wide receiver one.
Okay. I like borderline because he's got the skills, and I do think if we're talking about production this year, him and Stafford again, that's going to be a fireworks show.
All right. CD.
God.
I don't know if I can call it borderline top 10 yet.
Let's go one. It's like one's fair.
Yeah, I think one's fair for now. I mean, absolutely. I think he's better than a good starter. His ceiling is obviously elite, but
yeah, it's hard.
It's hard because when I think dynasty fantasy football is where my head keeps going, and I'm like, man,
right.
I would obviously want CD over Kenny Galladay, but it's that's not what we're doing here. So, Alan Lazard,
average.
I think he's average. Yeah.
Yeah, I like his skill set, but it just hasn't been that great.
Tyler Lockett.
He's underrated.
I think he's underrated.
Wide receiver one.
Yeah, I think wide receiver 1. I mean, do you think Cooper Kupp is better than Tyler Lockett?
Oh, that's a really good question. Those are really good players to compare because they kind of win similarly with their routes. Kupp being a little bigger and stronger. If I'm talking about like who do I pick for my team, I lean Kupp. But I mean, Tyler Lockett is an incredible wide receiver. That's a really good question. I'm going to ponder that.
I'm going to lean Kupp just because I think there's a chance that we do see regression from Lockett just because he is older. It probably won't happen, but there's at least a chance of it. And there's not really that, Kupp's not going to regress because of age. He's still so young.
Yeah.
Mike Williams.
Man, I wanted him to be good, and he's shown flashes, but he's also just not been that consistent at this point. I think you have to say average.
I mean, he's been good when he's been on the field, but he's just never on the field.
So rare, right?
Andrew Miller, I believe this is. 17.
Anthony Miller?
Anthony Miller, that's what I meant.
Is that the Bear? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I'd like average would be average to below average would be where.
I mean, what is this? His second year? His third year?
Yeah, I think it's his third year.
I mean, it's tough for me. It's just tough to judge because like now they actually have a quarterback, and like Justin Fields much because I think Miller's good, but I guess average. There's not enough.
I'm gonna say average.
Yeah,
and I think Mooney, who's next.
Let's go. Time will tell.
I think he's time will tell.
Yeah.
Because of the reasons you said, we've just seen a little bit more Miller. So, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think he's below average.
Yeah,
he just has like the worst hands. He drops so many balls.
Yeah,
but he is a really good deep threat.
And he's so big.
I don't know. It's just like I give so much of what he's able to do. Like I give all of that credit to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if he has anyone but Aaron Rodgers, it's like
I
don't know. I think below average.
It's a reason why I think Devontae Adams was so underrated for so long is people thought that a lot of his production just came from Aaron Rodgers. Like, no, Devontae Adams is doing work.
Devontae Adams is a different breed. Yeah.
Yeah.
N'Keal Harry. I mean, we could put him in time will tell.
Time will tell.
I don't know. Are we like ready to call him below average?
I'm ready to call him below average.
I'm ready to call him below average.
Yeah.
Yeah. OBJ.
Yeah. I mean, OBJ has been elite.
I think at this point, though,
good starter.
Yeah, just because of the injuries.
It's weird seeing Landry above him.
That is true. We can put him in wide receiver 1, or we could move them both down.
I think
there's some good ass receivers in wide receiver 1.
Yeah, but like Ayuk, OBJ, Landry, Deontay Johnson, Claypool. I think this is like that's the cut. Like CeeDee Lamb, is that CeeDee Lamb too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good cut.
All right, Devontae Parker.
Oh, I've wanted him to be pretty good too.
Yeah, I think he's good.
He is good. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. T.Y. Hilton.
This year.
At this point, yeah, this year.
Yeah, maybe just below average.
Below average. Michael Pittman. For me, he's a time will tell.
Let's go. Time will tell. He showed me some things I liked last year with the new quarterback. He could show me a whole lot more.
I definitely think he has a lot of upside, and he could be good. It's just I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
Preston Williams.
That's another maybe average to below, but he's another thing that he might be good. He's a big guy.
He's a big guy. I'm gonna go below. I'll give him average. He's not a bad receiver by any means. Who we got here? Nelson. That's not Nelson Aguilar. I can't read what that back of his jersey says.
Is it an eagle? It's smaller for me. Is it maybe Jalen Reagor?
Oh, that might be it. Jalen Reagor. It's really hard to tell, but we haven't done him yet, so we can go Jalen Reagor.
I'm super. Man, that's a rookie that I was so high on, and he just had that little injury that derailed him. Let's go. Time will tell because
we can talk. Yeah, I agree.
I think he's good, and he's got a really good head on his shoulders for football.
This is Derek Carr. I don't know why.
As a wide receiver,
he's probably
bottom of the barrel. I don't know if he's got the hands like these other guys.
T.Y. Hilton's on here twice. Robert Woods.
Yeah, he's got to be right there with Kupp.
Yeah,
both underrated, both just winning.
Tier.
Yeah.
Ruggs is a time will tell for me.
Sure.
He does have that, that home run speed, but he still has a lot of question marks.
Yeah, and it's like time will tell. Also, which is like, do the Raiders use him? Do they send it deep more?
Yeah,
they didn't really do that.
Yeah, I think if he's used right, they definitely were not using him right. So Scott Miller.
Ooh, little Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I would probably say
he was
below
a good
average.
starter when they asked him, dude. Like for the Bucks. I don't know if he's actually gonna play on the Bucks this year. I don't know if they keep him.
Yeah, I think he's below average.
We can go below.
And who is this? Is Danny Amendola?
I don't think he's on a team.
I'm gonna have to look this one up. Let's go to the next one. I'll look this up. Laviska Shenault.
Let's go good starter. That's just his floor right now. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen everything yet. Or time will tell because he might just be really, really good.
Okay, that's fair. I think time will tell is good.
Yeah.
Another Golden Tate for some reason. Sterling Shepard.
I think he's a good starter.
Really? Do you think he's like? Would you put him in the same tier as Debo?
Okay, we can go average. We can go average for right now.
Yeah.
Maybe with that offense, it starts to click. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Willie Snead.
Yeah, let's go below average.
Yeah, I think below average is.
No, he's been fine.
Cortland Sutton.
I would make him a 1.
Yeah, I think 1 is good for him as well.
Yeah,
where do we have Judy? We have him. Yeah, I wouldn't put him anywhere that I wouldn't put Judy. So
yeah.
Auden Tate, I believe that is, or is that AJ Green?
Is it 18 or 19?
It's 19. It's 19, I think. So that'd be
19
Tate, right?
Auden, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't really. I mean,
average to below.
Yeah, we'll say below just because there's less people on it. T. Higgins.
I'd actually make him a good starter, and he looks like he can be a 1. There's a lot of hype right now.
I would say 1.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You know,
he looks really similar to Ayuk, right under him.
Yeah, they do look
with those dreads.
Yeah,
that's funy. They have the same hairstylist.
Yeah, they must. I don't know. Is this Tyrell Williams? I believe
that's a little small for me. I can't.
I think he's below average.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually show out with the Lions.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 6'5" with some
speed. He might be average, but
yeah.
Adam Thielen. I think he's wide receiver 1.
At least a 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put him at 1. I mean, I just think at this point Jefferson's kind of take over as the guy there.
Yeah.
Will Fuller. To me, it's between 1 and good starter.
I mean, to me, it's between average and good starter. The only year that he's actually had like a lot of production, he also got popped for some performance enhancements. So it's just his availability has been really like limited. So I kind of average to, I would just say average.
All right, so we got 2 guys left: Darius Slayton, Sammy Watkins.
Darius Slayton is actually pretty good.
He's okay. I think average is fair for him.
It's fair for him right now. But I do think he actually has a lot of upside to be pretty productive.
Yeah. But he's been playing long enough. We can't say time will tell.
Can't say time will tell. It's just he's also had a pretty shifty offensive situation where it was like it ran through Saquon and then it couldn't, and then it just Daniel Jones is learning.
Their passing offense was just abysmal last year, and it should be better. So you can't really blame that on him. Sammy Watkins.
I would say average to below average.
Yeah,
he's always kind of. He had that rookie year with the Bills that was great, but then he's just never really been able to stay on the field for very long.
He shows flashes where he's like, "Damn, Sammy Watkins is fucking good at football."
Yeah,
and then the next time you'll see him and
you wonder why you thought that. Yeah.
Well, that is the end of the tier list. I'll put this out on Twitter, see what you guys think, get some feedback on it. We had a couple. Not quite arguments. We had a few disagreements on some
debates.
I can't remember. Do you remember who they were? Can you remember off the top of your head? I know there was a Boyd,
Ridley and Metcalf.
Ridley Metcalf, and then Boyd.
Boyd Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Boyd Brown and Aguilar. That was the other one. Yeah. All right. So I'll throw some polls out there on Twitter. See what we can get. I think it'll be interesting to see. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks everybody for coming out. We will see you guys next week for quarterback tiers.
So Smells like football, baby.